Again, I want to point out some things once again from LinkedIn. Obviously, last time around, we shared some key things from Dr. Luke Riley. This one is now from the Quant Network, straight from LinkedIn. Don't ever forget, we do still follow LinkedIn, not just X. As we pull this up, in my opinion, it's kind of eye opening. What am I referring to? Well, it's this. And you see here, like it says from the Quant Network, our team are at Money 2020 this week. Literally 2 days ago, they posted this over on LinkedIn. They're exploring how programmable money could reshape financial services. They're exploring, no. They explored this many years ago, right? Hence why it's part of that slogan of the foundation of digital finance through what? Programmable money.
If managing your crypto feels like solving a puzzle, it's time to switch to Decent Wallet. Just a few taps, you can manage, track, and secure your crypto with unmatched ease. And here's the best part. Grab your Decent Wallet at a discounted price by using the referral link below. Don't miss out on making your crypto experience smoother and more secure.
The challenges are real. Treasury teams buried in manual processes, cross-border payments that take too long, working capital management. That's more guesswork than strategy. That part about cross-border payments taking too long, think about who would be the connector, hence the Quant Network, hence the logo. That connector of that sentinel, if you will. Is Quant just a giant sentinel? Well, draw your own conclusion, but Quant Flow approaches this differently. Again, we know Quant Flow is a separate product outside of obviously just the overledger. We're seeing more and more of these particular products. So, do they really approach this differently? I think the answer is yes, but money that has evolved from a simple transaction to an automated workflow. Automation is key in anything moving forward, ladies and gentlemen. So, like they point out, if you're interested in quant, reach out to them, blah, blah, blah. Here's the little pamphlet. Quant's attending Money 2020 this week. You may have never heard of this particular event. This is why we do some of these outlines and bring it to you guys. So, the future in focus, kind of like how we like the idea, even the visuals, right? You could say even with that is kind of like a form of the quant logo, branching out to everything, interconnected world. All right, so what do they literally have in that regard? Well, kind of like this guy 2 days ago. Why do we need programmable money? What reason would we want to have the ability to program one's money? This guy's a billing advisor at Portland General Electric. My goodness. I remember many years ago, my parents paying the bill to PG back when we used to live in Portland, Oregon, back in the 90s and 80s. Whatever the case be, other people are asking questions. When is the gateway? And that's where it's kind of at for me, especially when I see the term, when is the gateway? And by the way, look at the guy's background, Qatar. Well, recently you saw Trump going, of course, over to Qatar, but we've already been there, done that. Let's take you over to this part. This is another announcement, of course, for the Quant Network. This time, 1 day ago. Banks need programmable payments and tokenized deposits. It's kind of like them answering these guys' question to a sense. But they can't afford to replace their core systems. Why? Because that's been a legacy system that's been put into place a long time ago, right? Yeah, you need to upgrade your infrastructure, but at the same time, you don't want to necessarily recreate the wheel. At least that's the legacy systems outlook. So we are collaborating as in Quant Network with the UK's RLN, Banco Centro Europeo, and of course the Bank of England on this exact challenge. Their approach enables ISO 222 compliant money flows. I'll state this again. How many times have we referenced that Quant Network through ISO TC 307 will be the orchestrator of all this with ISO 222? If that doesn't define it, I don't know what would, but we've been over this. So this would be across tokenized networks. Think about all the networks. Jesse does an excellent job of pointing out the whole thing with obviously the Internet of Value, your ILP, Interledger Protocol, and so on. There's other ones, obviously. There's even layer zeros, right? Like Polkadot. We probably haven't done enough discussion about that, but this helps financial institutions test programmable, interoperable infrastructures while keeping existing systems intact. All right, so they're like, Hey, is anybody else attending Money 2020? Yes, there is, but their team is there to discuss real world implementations. Okay, so that's a big deal. Definitely a big deal. Before I kick it back to our panel, I just want to highlight this. This is, well, at the time of today, this was posted today. If you guys get a little bit later in the week, you got to keep in mind we have our own little lineup with videos. But where the case be, EBA Day 2025, why industry collaboration is key. I'm not going to read all this, but I definitely want to show some key things. Of course, Gilbert chimed in, which is awesome. Every time Gilbert chimes in on anything, I think people stop, look, listen, right? Fintechs, he says, were once seen as a competitor, but through collaboration and identifying the right business case, banks now recognize how beneficial a partnership can be. Again, you're pitching a thing that leverages what banks currently do and taking it to the next level. Of course, we see Gilbert here literally at EBA Day. He's sharing what he has and so on with key participants. And as we get further down into it, you see, for example, this was moderated by Teresa Connors of Payment Matters. The other panelists were Alistair Brown, global head, by the way, of open banking payments. EPAM, Jenny Himmelberg-Wild. I've highlighted her before. I think it was actually with you, Channing. And we also have Barclays and Kareem Ahmad of Bain and Company. Here's Gilbert, again, doing his pitch. And if anything, it kind of looks like he's been putting the work in. He's been kind of, going through his, rubbing his fingers through his hair for a while, probably, right? Maybe get a little worn out, but that's okay. The guy's putting a lot of hard work in. So, again, I think this is a big deal. And this last part, sometimes you guys skip this. If you're a researcher, don't ever skip this. The bottom part, look at this. You see the tags. Why would they tag some of these key companies like Bain and Company, Alistair Brown, Barclays? How about this? Payment Matters. That was a new recent one. And then more importantly, security, programmability, and regulation. There's tags in place for a reason. To me, it's the hints of not spilling the beans for what's in the NDA, the non-disclosure agreement. Let's kick it over to our panel for this discussion, which is Jesse over at Apex Crypto Consulting NFA and King Channing, who could be followed at King Channing on YouTube. Take it away, gentlemen.
So huge. So huge. Oh my goodness, man. Like, and again, this is one use case. Like, programmable money in QuantFlow is absolutely insane, okay? Like, it's just insane. And my understanding is that Quant is doing it, don't even need blockchain. Like, they can program the accounts of banks individually, and that's like, the banks don't even have to be in the blockchain. Programming the wallets and the accounts. It's huge.
Crazy.
Go ahead.
Knowing exactly, just going to the digital euro really fast and seeing what is Quant doing for the digital euro project. They are providing them interoperable, programmable money, the API, the toolkit, the white label product, so that all of the other participants can use these systems seamlessly and integrate them seamlessly together. The fact that they have so many different products at this point in time. We're talking Authorize, Quant Flow, Quant Pay Scripts, Overledger platform, all of these different products that literally fit inside different demographics of different companies in different ways. It's incredible. And to know that it's not something that they're trying to do, it's not a roadmap. It is literally technology that is already done, that has been being tried securely for years, that is now ready for implementations and go live. It's quite incredible. Like, they are second to none in Web3. And I'm going to keep saying it. Quant Network and what they have facilitated globally with the largest institutions, governments, central banks, and now the commercial banks with things like EBA Day and Money 2020, showing you, hey, you guys, I know this ISO deadline is coming up. And on top of the ISO deadline, Maximus, I believe it was June 6th, I believe, is when the UK and the UE, I believe, had to be up and running by certain times. It was the June 2025, I believe.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's also coming up. And then look at Fusion also being released the same month of this mandate by the European unions and central banks and SEPA and all these things. It's all in conjunction with each other.
Like that's like Max was saying, you got to read the bottom. Sometimes the last comment, the last paragraph is the most important one. If you look at Fusion, they said Gilbert said, we invite the enterprises and corporations, companies to join too. In regards to the gateways, they're invited to join as well. So what he's implying there is this Fusion, this launch of gateway, like this, the whole Fusion Layer 2.5 is literally the official launch of Gilbert's vision here. Okay, this is his 20-year vision. Like I said in another video, this is why he's so emotional. He's saying he's almost crying as he's typing the message, making the announcement. Like, this is the full-scale quant overledger rollout. He said we're going to do it by step, but this is it. Like, this is the gateways, and not only does he say that comment, okay, saying like the enterprises are free to join as well, the host gateways. He's saying that because why? He's implying that this is a full decentralization. Like, this is the network going hyper decentralization. Everybody can host gateways. Okay, and he's saying that we host technically a blockchain. We decide, like, when we host a gateway, what blockchain do we want to host, like, that we want to provide the interoperability gateway for. And then at the bottom after that, he says our goal is to connect as many blockchains as humanly possible. Sorry, not humanly. He said as many blockchains as possible. That's the goal here. Okay, so this is the full hyper decentralization and the securitizing of the Quant network. Like, this is the vision. Like, this is the internet of trust going nuclear. Like, this is it, guys. Okay, like, this is not financial advice, not a financial advisor. There's risk in everything. But I mean, this is it, guys. Like, to me, it's now or never. But we could be wrong. We could be wrong. You know, the price could stay stagnant for another 2 years, God knows, because honestly, the price right now doesn't make sense to me. It should have been way higher than what it is. So we don't know what the price is going to do. But in my opinion, again, not financial advice. Okay, like, to me, it's now or never. To me, it's now or never, because this is ridiculous. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, this is it, guys. This Fusion, this is it. Like, I'm gonna make a video and I'm gonna repeat it 100 times in a video. Like, this is it. Like, this is it. Like, this is the official Quant Overledger launch. Like, this, like, because prior to Fusion, Gilbert Verdian, prior to this, it was Quant's team that was hosting the gateways for the companies and the enterprises, right? So they because they said we'll host the gateways, but now it's going full decentralized. Like, now the people, the retailers, and the enterprises, like you said, they're free to join as well, can host gateways. Like, this is it. Because I mean, I could go on. And when he, like, the guy asked in the comment, he says, when is the gateways? It's now. It's now. And in regards to use cases, like, there's unlimited use cases here. Like, when Gilbert made the announcement, the ICO, he says, you know, what can you build with Quant Everledger? He said, we don't know. That's why, like, we've provided the solution for you to use any blockchain, multiple blockchains at the same time. And, you know, what can you build with it? We don't know. Like we're here, we're asking you to build on it. Go ahead. Like, because we don't know, because it's unlimited use cases. It's unlimited blockchains, unlimited systems, unlimited softwares, unlimited everything. It's any to any interoperability. So, like, the use cases are endless, because, like we talked about earlier, like, you're connecting Internet of Things into legacy systems, into blockchain, into AI, and you're creating an app with that. So, like, that's why I say in 5-10 years from now, it's going to be so insane, the solutions and the different things, where, like, society's not even going to be recognizable. What do you think, Max? Do you agree, or do you think I'm crazy?
No, well, I do agree. I don't just say that, you know, some people are like, oh, of course you're going to agree. He's part of your panel. You're not really going to disagree. Hey, guess what?
I want you to disagree.
Our panel will disagree on certain things, and that's one thing on point. But the reason why I came back into the frame is because Jesse just mentioned Internet of Things. Okay, so I'm not talking about Jasmine on this one, but the key thing is recognizing that in the next particular video, or maybe the one after that, there's a specific focus, believe it or not, on just that, the topic of Internet of Things. So we're going to leave with a little cliffhanger with that. And with that also said, guys, we thank you so much for tuning in. Quant Money 2020 update, why it's a big deal. Tune in for tomorrow's episode, which is going to talk about, for example, Vitalik Buterin and Gilbert Verdian of the Quant Network. There's something new recently here. Does Quant save Ethereum? We'll leave you guys on that note. So do us a solid if you listen to the entire outline and simply type in this keyword. And let's give it back to Channing because it's been a while. What's the keyword, brother, for everybody who listened to the end of the outline?
Save, because Quant seems to be the savior of Web 3.
Nice.
Save. And we'll know that you listened to the end. On behalf of myself, Jesse over at Apex Crypto Consulting NFA, and King Channing at literally King Channing. What we have, no way you hold it, the research trumps flood 110%. And again, if you're on my channel, give these brothers a follow on their channels. That's why we mentioned it. And again, what you see on the bottom left is literally their channels on YouTube. Okay, so that bottom blue and white area, give them a follow. Support people that we're networked with. These guys always bring awesome research to the community. We'll see you guys on the next one.
See you guys.